The slave auction buzzed with tension. Rain hammered the dusty canopy overhead as traders and buyers huddled beneath canvas tents, evaluating the stock. Alien prisoners, sold into servitude from the recent border skirmishes on the fringe worlds. The auctioneer, a squat, reptilian grother named Brands, slammed his gavel. Next up, lot 42. 2 for 1 deal. Cages wheeled forward on squealing hovercarts. 2 alien girls crouched inside, starkly different from each other, yet united by the same iron fate. Species, Elarin, Brands bellowed. One docile, one untamable, neither useful. Laughter rippled through the crowd. Inside the first cage, a small girl with silvery blue skin and wide, shimmering eyes knelt with her arms wrapped tightly around her legs. She trembled as she peered out at the onlookers. In the second cage, another Elarin stood tall. Her midnight black hair was matted with grime, and faint scars streaked her arms. Gold-flecked eyes met the crowd with unflinching defiance. She was all angles and fire. Where her companion folded inward, she radiated raw fury. "No one wants soft," someone called. "Or savage." Brands tried to spark interest. "The little one's trained for domestic labor. She cooks, cleans, doesn't talk back." The other, "Well, if you can tame her, she's strong as a Drell beast." No one bid. The auctioneer's grin faltered. The crowd was moving on. And then a voice rose. "I'll take them." Heads turned. A lone human stepped forward from the shadows, his broad coat soaked with rain, a duffel over one shoulder. He looked young, maybe 30, unshaven, tired eyes. But his voice held something the others lacked, certainty. Brands squinted. "You human? You buying out of pity?" "I'm buying because I see value where you don't." Brands snorted, but greed won. "Fine. Both for half price. No refunds." The deal was made. The ride to the human settlement was silent, save for the hum of the transport. Rain streaked the windows as they traveled through the forested edge of Terran Colony Theta 9. He didn't speak until they reached the gate of a modest homestead built from steel and salvaged parts. The door slid open with a soft hiss, revealing a warm interior lit by golden lamps and the smell of food. "I'm Jackson," he said simply. "This is my home. You're not prisoners anymore." The wild one scoffed but didn't answer. The soft one stared, blinking. He gestured. "Bathrooms through there. Food's on the stove. You're free to eat, wash, rest. No chores. No demands." The wild girl stepped forward, interposing herself between her timid companion and him. "What's the catch?" "No catch." "You expect gratitude?" He met her glare calmly. "No. Just decency. You'll have your own rooms. I'll sleep with the door unlocked. You can run if you want." The two girls stared in stunned silence. Days passed. The soft one, whom Jackson learned was named Mira, took to the home slowly. She barely spoke but began cleaning compulsively until Jackson asked her to stop. "You don't need to earn your place here," he told her. Her lip trembled. "I don't know how not to." The wild one remained aloof. Her name was Vaila, and she refused to sleep indoors at first, choosing instead to build a nest of blankets near the greenhouse out back. Jackson let her be. She scavenged, hunted small animals from the woods, and watched the perimeter like a soldier. Sometimes she'd sneak back into the kitchen at night for food, leaving the wrappers meticulously folded. It was a rhythm, strange but steady. One night, a storm struck hard. Wind howled against the homestead. A tree cracked and fell nearby. Power flickered. Jackson rushed outside to check the greenhouse and found Viola huddled in the corner, soaked and shivering. "Damn it," he whispered, rushing over with a thermal blanket. "You'll catch your death." She flinched as he approached, but didn't resist when he wrapped her up. Her pride kept her from thanking him, but she didn't pull away. He carried her inside without a word and sat her by the fireplace. Later, as she dried, she finally muttered, "Why did you buy us?" Jackson stirred the fire. "Because you deserved better." No one else thought so. They were wrong. Mira began speaking more. She read books from Jackson's shelf and helped in the kitchen, but only when invited. Viola watched them from the shadows, slowly drawn to the warmth she'd never known. One morning, she stood at the garden beds Jackson had built from scrap metal. "Teach me," she said, voice rough, "to grow things, to build, to make something that isn't a cage." Jackson smiled and handed her a pair of gloves. Seasons turned. Jackson's quiet homestead became alive with sound. Mira took to art, painting beautiful alien landscapes across the old metal walls. She'd hum softly while working, and Jackson swore the house felt lighter when she smiled. Viola became his right hand outdoors, strong, focused, and endlessly curious. She built wind turbines, repaired fences, and even chased off a wild animal or two. She rarely talked about her past, but sometimes at night, she'd sit near the fire with Jackson, staring into the flames. One evening, she asked, "Do you think we're broken?" He looked at her. "No. But we were sold. No one wanted us. They didn't see you. Not really." She was quiet for a while, then whispered, "You did." Trouble came in the form of a patrol ship bearing the sigil of the Terran Colonial Authority. It landed without warning, its officers armed and impatient. Jackson stepped outside as the lead officer approached. "We're here for inspection," the officer snapped. "We heard you purchased off-record property. Non-regulated alien assets." Jackson's jaw tightened. "They're not assets. They're people. They're still registered. You're harboring runaways." Behind him, Mira clutched Viola's arm. The officer scanned the area, eyes lingering on the girls. "You can't keep both. Choose one to relinquish for reassignment, or we take both." Viola's fists clenched. Mira trembled. Jackson didn't hesitate. "No. They stay." The officer sneered. "Refuse, and we'll arrest you for obstruction." Jackson stepped forward. "Then do it." "But I won't sell them again." A long silence. Then, Mira stepped up, voice shaking but steady. "I'll go." "No," Viola growled. "You're not leaving." Mira met her eyes. "I'm not strong like you, but I can protect this home too." Jackson placed a hand on her shoulder. "No one's leaving." He turned back to the officer. "I have recordings of the auction, proof of purchase, legal under interspecies amnesty regulations. You want to fight, bring a lawyer." The officer stared, weighing his options. Finally, with a disgusted grunt, he waved his team back. "Not worth it." The ship lifted off and vanished into the clouds. That night, around the fire, no one spoke for a long time. Then Viola looked at Jackson. "You could have saved yourself by letting us go." "I did save myself," he replied, "by keeping you here." She tilted her head. "Why?" "Because this home was empty before you." Viola's fierce eyes softened. "I don't understand you. You don't have to." Mira leaned against Jackson's side. "I do." The home transformed over the next year. Mira turned one of the spare rooms into a studio, her paintings now spanning every wall. Visitors from nearby colonies started coming just to see them. Viola became known as a local engineer, especially skilled in defensive systems and off-grid living. She taught survival classes, trained dogs, and occasionally smiled in public.